2021 is finally almost over. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rachel, and on this channel I am documenting my journey of debt freedom and my path to financial independence. So now that we're almost done with 2021, it's time to talk about our 2022 money goals with a quick recap on how we did for 2021. So, kind of a broad strokes backstory. So 2022 is going to be the second year of my 5-year game plan that I started at the beginning of 2021 to become debt-free and set myself up for financial independence. So hopefully by the end of 2025, I will be debt-free and will be able to comfortably walk away from this job that I currently have, which does not make me happy in the least, so that I can go pursue more happy endeavors, whatever that looks like for me. I don't know at this time. It's not for me to worry about just yet, but we're getting there. So this is going to be year 2 of that 5-year process, or what I hope is a 5-year process. If I miss the mark a little bit, I know I'll at least be drastically better off than I was a few years ago, or even am today. So overall, my story started back in 2016 when I graduated. Well, I graduated from grad school in 2015, and then I had the 6-month, y'all get that window before you have to start paying back your student loans. And so that happened in 2016, and I was making jack shit for money, and I had tons of student loan debt, almost $250,000 in total debt. So that was pretty rough. And then I took this job in 2018 where I make a fairly good living, and instead of kind of inflating my lifestyle like most people there do, and from what it sounds like most people in general do when they get a big pay raise or take a big bump in salary, I decided to hunker down and continue kind of on par with the same lifestyle and just put all of my extra money into paying off debt, investing, real estate investing, and other endeavors to get myself into a better financial situation. So beginning of 2018, I got this job, and from 2018 to 2020, the end of 2020, I eliminated $40,000 in private student loans, about $10,000 on a used car loan. I was still driving a used car at the time, and about $3,500 in revolving credit card debt. And then I bought myself a new car, and I paid that off in about 7 months. And I made sure it was one that I wanted, one that was reliable, and one was going to last and be appropriate for New England weather. So I viewed that, and I know not everyone would agree with doing that, but I viewed first of all, my old car wasn't going to pass inspection again in 2021, as the mechanic pointed out to me in the beginning of 2020, as he kind of basically duct taped it to give it a sticker. So a new vehicle was inevitable. So I decided to, like I said, go for quality, reliability, and something I knew that would last. And again, that's probably an unpopular thing to do, but I made the right choice for me. So that being said, beginning of 2021, I guess kind of at the end of 2020 as well, I came up with this game plan where I said to myself, okay, I've got rid of all of my private student loans. I have no more credit card debt. I have no more car loans. The only thing I have left now is my federal student loans, which are all under one servicer. So I came up with a 5-year game plan to get rid of that amount, which was $185,900.22. And I just said to myself, what can I do over the next 5 years to get rid of that, and also kind of build up some streams of passive income or even semi-passive income, so that when the debt is gone, I can feel confident walking away from this job, as it's not my passion. Hell, it's not even what I went to school for. It's not what I paid all this money for. It's not what I have all this debt for. So I just really want to get back to doing something that makes me happy. So that's the plan. So 2022 is going to be year 2 of that. So just a quick recap. You've all seen this little number. My really embarrassing childlike drawing of my 5-year game plan. Basically, I just broke it down into bite-sized chunks for those 5 years. And zooming in on 2021, we did pretty damn good. I wanted fully funding sinking funds, which was my emergency funds, pay $30,000 to student loans, and buy my first rental property and start making money online, or some kind of side hustle. That's the only one I missed, was making money online or from a side hustle. But it was kind of low at the totem pole for me, so I'm perfectly fine with that. If you guys have been following my journey, you know that during this last week of December, I got that final $1,000 I needed to hit that $30,000 goal to student loans, of which I paid towards them throughout the 12 days of Vlogmas, if you guys watched my Vlogmas series. And then, of course, I did very recently post an update to what I was doing now that student loan forbearance has been extended again. So I did cancel those 4 January payments that I had to schedule out to January because my loan servicer only allowed me to make 8 payments in December and I wanted to do 12. So I had to schedule 4 out into January of totaling $4,800. So I did cancel those just because the forbearance got extended. So I'm just I still have that money. So for the really negative Nancy comments I got on that video saying that was the dumbest thing I could have done, I don't think so. I'm going to take that $4,800, continue to save it for my loans, just put it back in my high yield savings account so it can grow some more interest while the forbearance has been extended, as opposed to just being applied to the student loans and not gaining me any benefit. They're not gaining any interest. So I might as well grow some money from it, but I digress. Everyone has their own opinions. Either way, I hit that goal. Saving that last $4,800, we're going to carry it over to whenever the forbearance ends. And then, of course, the fully funded sinking funds. You all know that rental property ate up my emergency fund, so I accomplished it very briefly. But it's just going back on the list for 2022. So let's talk about 2022. Some pretty big goals this year as well. We want to do another $30,000 to student loans. Shouldn't be a problem since I'm going to have the whole year, or I'm going to start in January saving for those, unlike 2021 where I only started in June, so I crammed all that into 7 months. I'm going to give myself 12 months this time, so that should be fine. Buy a second rental property. I don't know about that. I'm at least going to start saving for one, I think, but I think I've kind of changed my plan and I kind of want to save for a couple years and then buy a bigger multifamily property down the road. So I don't know as I'll be buying one every year like I kind of had game planned out, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Also, I wanted to get to a positive net worth. I don't think that one's going to be possible just because I only increased my net worth by it was kind of a big deal. I increased my net worth by over $60,000 this year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I am going to do a more detailed video shortly after the new year that's like my Q4 finance update. And that's going to cover more of my net worth and all that. But I'm still about negative $76,000 in net worth right now. So being able to get that to a positive in 1 year, I don't think is very realistic. But it's still going to be a goal. If that one has to shuffle to the next year, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a goal. And then making $200 a month, either online or from a side hustle, is also a goal for 2022. I am going to leave that one on there because it's still a goal and it's still something I want to do. So the only thing I'm adding to 2022 is, of course, refunding all of my sinking funds. So my emergency fund and I want to do a car vet and medical fund, kind of slush fund, just to have funds to pull from when we have a big vet visit or a medical expense or something of that nature. So those are going back on the list for 2022 as well. And of course, it's something I haven't written on there, but the goal is always going to be to try to max out my Roth IRA for the year. I'm not doing so great for 2021 just because the loans were the focus. But of course, we do have until tax day of 2022. But then the other thing I realized is I recently went over the income cap. So I'm going to have to talk to a CPA about, because I think it's adjusted. So once I take out expenses, but it's just going to come down to like, I think buying the rental property will help me in that sense, but I don't know how much. I don't know if it will. I have no freaking idea. So the $1,300 I've contributed for 2021, I may have to take back out, I guess. I've obviously never run into this situation before, so I need to talk to a CPA and figure out how to handle that. Um, if I am going to be okay, if I am going to take the money back, or if I have to take the money back out, or is that what I'm supposed to do if I accidentally went over? I have no idea. But if not, if I'm going to be okay, and once my income is adjusted to write off my expenses for the year, if I am still able to contribute, I still would like to try to do so up until tax day. So if I do get any kind of, maybe if I get any kind of tax return, I would try and dump that into my Roth IRA if I still have time. Or not, we'll see. But that one's kind of up in the air for now. But that's always going to be on the list. I think Roth IRAs are fantastic since they are tax-free growth once you hit retirement age, which is amazing. I just, of course, want to make sure I'm doing it right and not contributing to it when I'm not allowed to be. So stay tuned on that one. But yeah, just to kind of go back to 2021, I'm really happy with the progress that I made last year. I managed to wipe out all of my outstanding interest on my student loans and then some. I think we wiped out, 6 or 7 loans? Maybe 6 by the time I subtracted the January payments. But 6 individual loans off my credit report. That's amazing. That's really good progress. So I'm very excited. And now for 2022, since I'll have the whole year to be saving for those loans, $30,000 broken down over 12 months is $2,500 a month. So that should be reasonably doable. I certainly did more than that many months in 2021 since, again, I accomplished the goal in 7 months. So obviously it's pretty feasible, even though I won't have another month like I did in October. I won't have that kind of a month in 2022. If you guys remember, I put $8,500 aside for student loans in that month alone, just because of the crazy work schedule that fell in October and into November, which happens for us at work every 18 months. So that won't happen again until April of 2023. But I still think $2,500 a month should be reasonable, especially with the amount of overtime and shift differential I'll be working. Should be good. So yeah, I don't know. That's really it for the goals. It's just I'm really excited. I still have a huge chunk of debt. I still have $160,700 in student loan debt. I'm really not banking on any forgiveness at all, of course. Even if they do kind of end up offering to forgive a portion of people's student loan debt, I'll probably be over the income cap for that kind of thing. So I'm certainly not banking on any student loan forgiveness. So, I'm just going to spend the next 4 years tackling it. And when you break it down year by year, it's a lot easier to kind of mentally wrap your brain around and stay motivated with when you take it year by year. I'm feeling very motivated after 2021, after hitting the goal right in the last week of December. That makes me so happy. So it's definitely kind of springboard motivation to start 2022 off right. And hopefully I can kind of keep on schedule or even ahead of schedule with the savings and get my emergency fund back to where I can feel comfortable again. and just keep plugging away. You guys, I have high hopes. Also, if you watched my most recent rental property update, I do have a tenant now. After 8 months of trying to buy that property and then getting the shitty tenant out, and then all the repairs that needed to be done from the shitty tenant that ate my emergency fund, and now a couple months later, we've got a tenant in there, and she's had some maintenance issues, but they've not been as big as I was kind of in my head, because like in the evenings before Christmas, I got an emergency maintenance request because she was cleaning behind the stove, and like the outlet made a pop noise and took out all the electricity in the house, and I was scared, like, oh my gosh, does the whole house have crappy wiring? This isn't good. You know, it could have been bad, but it ended up just being, just a bad outlet. So that outlet got replaced, and that was so much cheaper than I thought it would be. So that was fine. Everything's fine. So I know I've been getting a lot of hate for, not hate, there's been some hate, but like some of you were like, ooh, you're crazy for buying a rental property out of state. Why would you do that? That's so scary, so risky, but whatever. I don't know. Everyone does their own thing, right? And I know it's going to be beneficial for me in the long run, so it's okay with me. You know, we're going to have these hiccups. It's just how this kind of stuff goes, and I'm always happy I'm kind of taking the risk on this kind of thing while I do have extra kind of disposable income. What other better time in life to be taking these kind of risks? Like, even if I made a lot less money, I would still want to be investing in real estate. I would just have extra cushion for when things do go wrong. So I'm glad I'm kind of doing it now while I do have the cushion and can kind of get things smoothed out over the years to come and set myself up better for when I do walk away from this job, because I'm definitely walking away from this job. Hopefully at the end of 2025. If not, then hopefully shortly thereafter. So that was just a quick update for all you people who are thinking I'm crazy. I know I am, but I'm doing what's right for me. So anyway, that's all I got. Yeah, like I said, I'm very excited for this year. I think it's going to be great. Very motivated after finishing pretty strong with 2021. So if you guys have any big financial goals for 2022, I would love to hear about them in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. You all are so supportive, so sweet on all of my videos. I love it. It keeps me going. You guys keep me motivated. You keep me in the know with all your updates, because you guys always know things before I do, and I always appreciate that. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.